Imagine a moment so shocking, so utterly disrespectful, that it shatters the carefully constructed facade of a royal family. A moment that would send shockwaves not just through palace walls, but across the entire globe, leaving everyone asking, how could this happen? Today we delve into the incident that pushed Camilla, one of the most beloved figures, to her absolute breaking point, all because of a single, unforgivable act by Asher against young Oliver. This isn't just a story of a disagreement, it's a raw, unfiltered look at the hidden tensions, the unspoken rules, and the explosive aftermath when someone dares to cross a line that should never, ever be breached. For years, the public has seen Camilla as the epitome of grace and composure. Her dedication to her family, her unwavering smile, her ability to navigate the intense scrutiny of royal life, these have all painted a picture of someone unshakable. But behind the polished exterior, even the most stoic individuals have their limits. And for Camilla, that limit was reached and dramatically surpassed when Asher, in a move that can only be described as audacious, directly challenged her authority and, more importantly, jeopardized the well-being and privacy of Oliver. The story begins subtly, as these things often do. Whispers had been circulating for months about a growing tension between Camilla and Asher. While outwardly cordial, insiders reported a simmering rivalry, particularly concerning Asher's attempts to exert more influence over certain family matters, often stepping on toes in the process. Camilla, ever the protector, had always been wary, especially when these attempts edged too close to her children. Oliver, in particular, was her heart. A bright, sensitive child, Oliver represented the future, and Camilla guarded his innocence fiercely. The specific incident that ignited the inferno occurred during a seemingly innocuous family gathering. It was a private event, meant to be a quiet afternoon away from the prying eyes of the press. Oliver was playing, as children do, in a corner of the grand drawing room. Asher, known for her sometimes blunt and often self-serving approach, approached Oliver. What transpired next was witnessed by several bewildered family members, including Gabriel and Mason, who later recounted the shocking details. Asher reportedly made a highly inappropriate comment to Oliver, a comment that was not only dismissive, but also deeply personal and critical of Oliver's character, delivered in a tone that was far from gentle. It wasn't just the words, but the manner in which they were delivered. A public undermining of a child, a direct challenge to Camilla's parenting, and a breach of the unspoken code of conduct within the family. Oliver, visibly upset, immediately sought comfort from Camilla, his small face crumpled in confusion and hurt. Camilla, who had been observing from a distance, felt a cold dread turn into a searing rage. For a brief moment, the entire room fell silent. You could literally hear a pin drop. Then what happened next was unlike anything anyone had ever seen from Camilla. The calm, collected royal vanished. In her place was a mother lioness, her eyes flashing with an intensity that silenced even Asher. Camilla confronted Asher directly, her voice low but piercing, laced with a fury that needed no shouting to convey its power. She made it unequivocally clear that Asher had crossed an unforgivable line. The argument, though brief in its verbal exchange, was monumental in its implications. Camilla didn't just express displeasure, she laid down a boundary with absolute finality. She reminded Asher in no uncertain terms that Oliver was under her protection, and that such behavior would not be tolerated, ever again. She spoke not just as a royal, but as a mother, asserting her right to shield her child from unnecessary negativity and harm. The room remained thick with tension long after Camilla had taken Oliver and quietly left, followed by Gabriel, who offered a sympathetic glance to Asher, who stood, for once, speechless. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. While no public statements were made, the incident became a catalyst for a significant shift in family dynamics. Camilla, once seen as more accommodating, now drew a clear line in the sand. Her message was clear: there are some things and some people that are sacred. This event, though carefully shielded from the public eye, leaked out in fragments, fueling speculation and confirming what many had long suspected, that behind the gilded gates, even royal families grapple with the same human emotions, the same clashes of personality, and the same fierce protective instincts that define us all. Camilla's explosion wasn't just an outburst, it was a powerful declaration of love and protection for Oliver, a stark reminder that even in the most rigid of environments, a mother's resolve can shatter any protocol. And it left no doubt: mess with her children, and you mess with Camila at your own peril. This moment, though painful, ultimately solidified Camila's standing not just as a royal, but as a formidable and deeply loving mother. It was a line that Asher should never have crossed, and the repercussions, both seen and unseen, continued to ripple through the family to this day.